have a really interesting conversation about timing. So much about comic book collecting and investing and speculating is about timing your buy-in and timing when you sell. And some recent events in pop culture that absolutely shook the comic book market, and a future event and announcement that absolutely 100% is coming and will shake the comic book market again. The only question is when. So we're going to get into it here, a couple of real life examples of some recent events. But before we do it, I got to hit you with the giveaways. We got a YouTube giveaway every month here on the YouTube channel. If you subscribe, comment, and like, you're entered to win 2 slabs this month. And head over to brycecomics.com and sign up for the newsletter over there to be entered to win 2 slabs each and every month. You stay subscribed, and you also get first access to new collections when they come through and special discount codes. Lastly, follow us over on Whatnot. We have some awesome shows coming up, some new collections coming in. We're going to have a ton of $1 starts, chance at $1,000, and there's a link down in the description for $15 towards your first purchase if you're new to Whatnot, and you can come by and pick up a free book. So what I'm talking about recently, and I'll get back to these things here that I just bought, but recently, some of you may have remembered a video that I posted, I think about a month ago now, where I was absolutely covered in Venom number 3s in 9.8s and all the variants, the incentive variants, the third print, signature series, you name it, it had all of them. So I bought a collection that had, I think it was like 25 copies of Venom number 3, the first appearance of Null, and I sold them all. And then 2 weeks after I sold them all, every single one, not a single straggler from that was kept. There was an announcement that Null is coming in the next Venom movie. He was shown in the trailer, and the comic book market absolutely responded, and the prices, went up, and we'll talk about it. How much did they go up? Because I think that's actually one of the most interesting data points about this is in today's market, when the thing that we've been waiting for so long actually happens, what can we expect to happen to comic book prices? So we'll hop in the computer and talk about that. And so it was just absolutely terrible timing on my part. And yet I want to backtrack a little bit, because those that have been following the channel for even longer, 2 years ago in 2022, I posted a video talking about how every time I get a Venom number 3, I hold it and I hoard it. And back then in 2022, way back in the Pearson Road shop back in Paradise, California, I had 2 full boxes of Venom number 3 all slabbed up, and it was getting ridiculous, and the price was slowly dropping, and I decided to sell them all. So let's hop into the computer and take a look at prices and stuff and see some really interesting things. So here's Venom number 3. This is gpanalysis.com, tracks CGC sales across many different platforms. The last sale was $255, 90-day average $237. So that 90-day average is going to be brought down a lot by, the prices before the announcement. But here we can see there was a peak of $320 after the announcement, I would assume. Yeah, so a couple hit the 300s after the announcement. Look at the quantity of sales. Good Lord. So September 12th is all of these sales, and you can just see the price kind of jumping around a little bit. I think maybe a lot of copies were already listed and people were grabbing them at, yesterday's pre-announcement price, and then people started listing new items or increasing their prices to where it seems like it's leveled off here at around $250. So the interesting thing about this is that back in 2022, I went and looked at the prices. CGC 9.8 was around $315 in 2022. And so had I held all of those books that I eventually sold them at around the $300 price mark, had I held them until the announcement of Null, I would have lost money. Like even after the announcement, even after, everything went up, I would have lost money. It would have been $250, and I would have been better off doing what I did do, selling them for $300. And so the learning lesson there was, first of all, nobody knew what to expect with the COVID boom and how far prices were going to correct. And it was such a crazy time in comics that it was right in the midst of that, or at least on the down curve of the COVID thing. So nobody can predict the future. Nobody can predict prices. So what did I sell the Venom 3 that just came in a couple weeks ago? Those came in a collection. I bought them at a discounted price. So when I sold them at the price of, pre-announcement, I still made my money. I made profit at that point. And that's kind of been a business model of mine since 2022, when I sold off those Venom 3s, I kind of had a shift in thinking of like just not holding stuff, just making your profit whenever you can make your profit. And then you never have to worry about risk. Whereas while you're hoarding all of these things and waiting for the spec to play off, and then it never happens, or the market goes down so much that even if it does happen, it doesn't bounce back for it. If you just cut all that out as a business, it seems to be a safer thing. Like why would I take a risk if I can make my profit right then and right there at that day? So I ended up selling all of them for around the $200 mark, around 175 to 200. That's what they were selling for when I got them, 175 to 200. Let's just say it went up from 200 to 250 to keep numbers safe. So it went up about 25%. So I think that 25% in today's market is a good indicator of how much a book can go up in value if the spec hits. See, the catch is, if it's years from now, who knows what market conditions are going to be like? And you also have to factor in how much has the market changed from the price when you got it at to when the announcement happens. For example, I just got in this new collection, and here we go again. This is the same story as with the Venom 3s, a whole bunch of Ultimate Fallout 4s. 9.8 first print. This one's signed by Clayton Crane with a nice silver signature. You don't see that all the time. But all of these are 9.8 first prints, and some 9.6 first prints, signature series, and a whole bunch of second prints. And something is telling me, I just feel it right here. Something is telling me there's a Miles Morales announcement coming. I don't know. I kind of feel it, and maybe it's just because I'm coming on the heels of the Venom 3 thing. I think that's probably the bigger thing here is I'm looking at this, and I'm just having deja vu from what just happened with those Venom 3s, and I sold them all, and if I had just held, and I'm looking at Ultimate Fallout 4 prices, so let's hop over to GPA and look at the current price of Ultimate Fallout 4. Last sale was $920. I just sold one on Whatnot, I think for $800 is what the 9.8 first print went for. I've seen a lot of them sell for around $850. A couple of strong sales here, $900, $1,000, and $920 for the last 3 sales. But before that, dipping awfully close to that $800 mark. And so the question is, because this is an announcement that if there was a way to bet money on it, I would bet all the money I have that we will see Miles Morales in a live action. I feel that strongly about it. It's just a no-brainer. I mean, they have to do it. The people want it. It's the future. Like it's coming. We all know that. So the question is, how long is it going to take, and how much will it increase the price of the book when it does happen? And I would venture to say, with what we saw with Knoll, that it will probably increase the price of the book about 25%. I mean, we have past evidence of a similar situation where that was the case. So somewhere around 25%. So if it's sitting at a $900 book today, if the announcement doesn't come for another year, and maybe the price of the book drops down to $600, which is totally within the realm of possibility, if it goes up 25% from $600, we're sitting at $750. So this is one of those cases where it's the timing of when it happens is whether or not you're going to make money, and also what happens with the market. And this is another big thing is, a lot of people are talking about strength in the market, and the Fed is decreasing the interest rate, and that's going to slowly continue over 2024 and 2025. So absolutely, I believe that the market will turn around and go back to a gradual incline. And I'm looking forward to it. I mean, my business will actually benefit from that. I think we'll all benefit from that as collectors. It's nice to be able to collect things that are appreciating in value. But a big factor on that is the macroeconomic factors. And as people are stating in a lot of videos about strength in the market and stuff, in the comic book market, because of the Fed decrease in the interest rate, and they plan to continue to do that over the next couple of years. So I think it's going to be gradual. I don't think it's going to be like this sharp bounce back. I think we still have some time. I mean, I'm just guessing based on what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing strength in the market. I price collections every single day, and I buy collections every single day, and we have not got to the point where I'm pricing books and looking up values where I'm seeing like an overwhelming trend of an increase in prices. It's still on the decline. And so that's the big question is, when will this announcement come? And so for me, what I do as a business, it just makes the most sense that I made my money on these books when I bought them, and so if I sell them now, I have no risk and I turn a profit. So for me, it makes perfect sense to sell these books right now. if I was a collector looking to get into Miles Morales, I think now is not a terrible time to do it. Okay. I think if you are one of those people that likes Miles Morales and like, just put yourself in this position. Let's say tomorrow a Miles Morales announcement comes, or who's going to be the live actor. Are you going to get crazy FOMO and hop over to eBay and just impulse buy something that's priced a little bit high? If that's you, you may want to pick up Ultimate Fallout 4 today, but maybe you don't have faith in that announcement coming anytime soon. And maybe it would be better to wait a couple years, but certainly at the $900 price point, or, slowly dipping back down to $800. That's the best price we've seen for this book in a long time. I mean, look at the 2022 average, $2,631. 2023 average, $1,670. 12-month average, $1,100. 90 days, $954. I mean, it's going down, down, down. So it's the lowest it's been in like 3 or 4 years. So, it's a personal decision, but it just always blows my mind about how many people are influenced by that trailer drop. Like if you are going to be excited about something and you like that character and you're the type of person that goes and buys stuff, just buy the things before the announcement comes. Save yourself some money. But the other big underlying factor with this is comics are a hobby that are supposed to be enjoyed. And if you enjoy buying the thing that you want when it's hot, then you're doing it right. You're doing the right thing. You're having a good time. You're enjoying the hobby. You're getting that book. And so, I think these books are around the price points, like the null, whether it's $200 or $300. I mean, nobody's going broke over that. And if you can afford a 9.8 Ultimate Fallout 4 #1, I don't think a 20% rise or fall is really going to affect your collecting experience too much. So just some interesting points of discussion. I mean, it is important to time your buy-in and time when you sell, if at all possible, because you can buy more comics that way. If you wait until the FOMO to buy stuff, that's fine, but then you have less money to buy comics. And so if you can get good at that, you can enhance your collecting experience by having more funds available. So anyways, just some interesting thoughts. It'll be really curious to see if we get a Miles Morales announcement right after I sell all of these, because I am going to sell them. Probably have already sold them by the time you're watching this video. Leave a note down in the comments. What do you think? How do you feel about the whole situation? Thanks as always for sticking with me to the end of the video. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.